Stjepan Vukčić Kosača was the most powerful and for the most part unruly vassal in the Kingdom of Bosnia. A member of the Kosača noble family, he became Grand Duke of Bosnia upon the death of his uncle Sandalj.He. He refused to recognize the accession of King Tomaš, proclaiming himself a semi-independent herzog, recognizing the suzerainty first of the Ottoman Empire, then Aragon and again the Ottoman Empire. Peace was briefly restored by the marriage of King Tomaš and Stjepan's daughter Katarina, but it did not last long. It was Stjepan's title herzog of Sandalj that gave rise to the name of Ottoman Sanjak, established after 1482 when the Kosača family domain fell under Ottoman rule. The name remained since then, and it is used for modern region of Herzegovina and town of Herceg Novi in present-day Montenegro as well. Inheritance. Stjepan was the son of Vukčić Kosača and his wife Katarina, as well as the fraternal nephew of Sandalj.He, Grand Duke of Bosnia, along with his father and uncles Sandalj and Vuk. Stjepan was admitted into the nobility of the Republic of Ragusa by a charter dated the 29th of June 1419. The same charter granted the family a house in Dubrovnik. Sandalj.He's father died in 1432, and when his uncle followed him on the 15th of March 1435, it was Stjepan who inherited the lands and prestigious ducal title, becoming the most powerful vassal of King Tvrtko II of Bosnia. At the end of September 1441, Kosača captured the territory of Upper Zeta on the left bank of Morava. Stjepan Vukčić, who represented the whole Vukčić family, joined him in this campaign and was awarded by Kosača with control over 5 villages. Civil War. King Tvrtko II died in September 1443. Being a staunch supporter and adherent of the Bosnian Church, Stjepan refused to recognize the deceased king's cousin and chosen heir Tomaš, a convert to Roman Catholicism, as King of Bosnia. Instead, Stjepan supported Tomaš's exiled brother Radovoj, a candidate also put forward by the Ottoman Empire. In 1443, the papacy sent envoys to Tomaš and Stjepan about a counter-offensive against the Ottomans, but the two were in the middle of a war. Ivaniz Pavlovich, sent by King Tomaš, attacked Stjepan Vukčić. The king had at the same time been recognized by the Hungarian regent John Hunyadi. Stjepan turned to King Alfonso V of Aragon, who made him Knight of the Virgin, but did not give him troops. On the 15th of February 1444, Stephen signed a treaty with the King of Aragon and Naples, becoming his vassal in exchange for Alfonso's help against Stjepan's enemies, namely the King of Bosnia, Duke Ivaniz Pavlovich and the Republic of Venice. In the same treaty, Stjepan promised to pay regular tribute to Alfonso instead of paying the Ottoman Sultan as he had done until then. Peace and royal marriage. In 1446 the two rivals had made peace, with Stjepan Vukčić recognizing Tomaš as king, and the pre-war borders were restored. Peace was sealed by the marriage of Stjepan's daughter Katarina and King Tomaš in May 1446, with Catherine converting to Roman Catholicism. The Ottomans were displeased with the peace, as their interest lay in dividing Bosnia. Despot Turad Branković was also displeased due to Srebrenica issue. In 1448, the Turks sent an expedition to plunder King Tomaš's lands, but they also plundered Stjepan Vukčić's lands. Stjepan Vukčić sent envoys to Turad Branković, despot of Serbia, to try to improve the relations between the two. Vukčić then joined forces with despot Turad and fought Bosnian forces. Renewal of conflict. The same year Stjepan Vukčić assumed the title Herzog of Harm and the coast-dropping Duke of Bosnia. A year later, in 1449, he had changed it into Duke of St. Sava, after the Serbian saint whose relics lay in Mileseva in the east of his province. This title had a considerable public relations value since Sava's relics were considered miracle working by people of all Christian faiths in the region and tied in with a boost of relations between him and Turad Branković. That same year a war broke out over the rich mining town of Srebrenica, between despot Turad and King Tomaš, in which Stjepan sided with Turad Branković. In 1451 Stjepan Vukčić attacked Ragusa and laid siege to the city. As he had earlier been made a Ragusan nobleman, the Ragusan government now proclaimed him a traitor. A reward of 15,000 ducats, a palace in Dubrovnik worth 2,000 ducats, and an annual income of 300 ducats was offered to anyone who would kill him, along with the promise of hereditary Ragusan nobility, which also helped hold this promise to whoever did the deed. The threat seems to have worked, as Stjepan abandoned the siege. After Bosnian King Stjepan Tomaš and the Serbian despot reconciled, the Republic of Ragusa proposed a league against Duke Stjepan Tomaš's charter from the 18th of December 1451. Apart from the theoretical ceding of some of Duke Stjepan's territories to Ragusa, also included the obligation that he would attack Stjepan. Ottoman threat. In the early 1460s, Herzog Stjepan controlled of all of today's Herzegovina as far north as Glamoch, but Nevesinje and Gacko were under the control of the Ottoman Empire. Kosača knew he would soon face Ottoman attacks, so he asked Venetians to allow Skanderbeg's forces to cross the territory to help him. Venetians allowed Skanderbeg to cross the territory to help Kosača, but Skanderbeg failed to carry out his promises. When his son-in-law the king died in 1461, he was succeeded by his elder son Stjepan rather than Sigismund, his son, by Queen Katarina. This time, aware of the Ottoman threat, Stjepan did not dispute the succession. After taking the Kingdom of Bosnia in 1463, Mahmud Pasha also invaded Herzegovina and besieged Blagoje, after which Stjepan conceded a truce by sending his youngest son as a hostage to Istanbul, and ceding all of his lands to the north of Blagoje to the empire. Stjepan Vukčić died in 1466, and was succeeded by his eldest son Vladislav Herzegovich. Issue and legacy. Stjepan Vukčić was married 3 times. In 1424, he married Jelena, daughter of Balsa III of Zeta. His wife died in 1453. 2 years later, he married Barbara. She died in 1459. His final marriage, in 1460, was to a German woman named Cecily. With his first wife Jelena, he had at least 4 children. Katarina married King Tomaš of Bosnia in 1446. Vladislav Herzegovich, Duke of St. Sava, Lord of Krajina, married Kara Anna, daughter of Georgios Kantarkouzenos in 1455. Vlatko Herzegovich, Duke of St. Sava, married an Apulian noblewoman, Herzog Ahmed Pasha, baptized Stjepan, the youngest son of Stjepan Vukčić, whom Sultan Mehmed II took as a hostage, became a Muslim in the Sultan's service. He became the Grand Vizier and Grand Admiral to the Sultan, married Sultan Bayezid II's daughter, Fatima, in 1482, and had descendants by her. Stjepan and his second wife Barbara had a short-lived son and a daughter named Mara. In 1482, Vladislav Herzegovich was overpowered by Ottoman forces led by his brother, Herzog Ahmed Pasha. Herzegovina was organized into a province, which later became one of the Sanjaks of the Bosnia Ajala.